had you been born in 1980, you could have exploded.
Oh my god, Shannon, I forgot to tell you.
Okay.
Sorry, I was going to tell you before the podcast, but now you both get to know my dad bought a new car yesterday.
What the fuck? Why? What kind of car?
Does your dad get this money?
Oh, he, like, trades in his vehicles.
And they're, like, still brand new because he doesn't even drive them.
Because he drove it for 8 days and was like, I need a new one.
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. He got a Jeep. Here, let me send you the picture of it.
It's not a Jeep truck, is it?
No, it's not one of those ugly, disgusting things that the kid across the street owns. Yeah.
That's a very bright color
It is bright, but it is, it's blue, which is his favorite color, so.
I like that color.
Me too. I'm kind of like, you want to give me your new vehicle?
For him.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, he didn't like his
That's
most
Swick in the background.
Truck. It is Swick in the background.
That's my building. I used to work there. He's in the Y parking lot.
Did he trade in the truck?
Yeah, he traded in his truck. They gave him like $38,000 for it.
That cost of a car is just unfathomable to me. I've never purchased a car for more than $2,500.
I don't know. He sent me some big, huge, long message about like what he paid and then what they gave him and blah, blah, blah.
I can see it. Like, it's a relatively new truck and he never fucking drove it, so there's no miles on it.
Yeah, so,
Great. Okay.
But yeah, apparently it's a hybrid. I don't know why that matters.
The next time he wants to buy, if he ever wants to buy me anything expensive,
right?
Like,
I'm like, Jesus, Father.
It's
you know why he did it? One, because my mom has been telling him no for like a year that he couldn't get a new vehicle. My mom is in Minnesota right now. So she's been out of town for a week, so there was no one to tell him no.
Yeah.
So he just got a new car.
Yeah.
So,
good Lord.
Because he has a problem.
Yeah. I'm not going to argue with you about that.
Right. I mean, I like it. I'm not, like, mad about it, but also, why?
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, Hannah, do you want to do the intro?
Hey, this is the triad where we're spooky but sensitive. I'm Hannah. Forgot my name there.
I'm Shannon.
I'm Shelby.
Okay, do we have any announcements? I have 2, which you both are already aware of, so...
Yeah, I'm good.
Go for it.
Okay, so... God. So, today, I woke up to an email that we had gotten YouTube comments, which has only happened 3 other times.
Yes.
Maybe 4, but it doesn't happen. And... So they were on the St. Louis Jane Doe case, which I covered about a year ago now. It was episode 30. And they both pointed out that I got a factual thing very wrong. And then I looked at it and I was like, yeah, that's just because I blatantly misread something. Like, to the point where I looked at it now and I'm like, why did I read it like that? But I did, so there's nothing we can do about it. And so I did that. One of the other commenters brought up other issues, some of which I think was just a difference in how they think the podcast should have been going, which is fair. I'm not going to, like, dismiss that on its face. And then the other one, they both were not concerned, brought up issues that I personally don't think are the issue that they think it is. I'm trying to be vague because, like, I don't want this to turn into a whole thing. Just know that, like, there was a factual issue. I recorded a new intro for that episode, and I added it and uploaded it today. Which by the time this comes out, it will have already been up for almost 4 days, I think. And just, like, I am open to, like, obviously, I'm open to criticism. I'm open people telling me, hey, you kind of screwed that up. But, like, please just, like, be polite about it is all I'm asking. Both of these people kind of assumed that I purposely misrepresented who this person was because the person was black. So, like, they assumed that because this person was black, I purposely downgraded their importance, and that was not even remotely the case. I just got a fact wrong. And, like, I get it. Like, like I said, I messed up the fact, but, like, there's a factual error. There are other errors that I addressed with them on YouTube. Like, I replied to their stuff. We'll see if they respond. If they do, cool. If not, that's fine too, obviously. And, like, we've gotten other comments before. Like, on the Leopold and Loeb episode, we got a comment that actually he rediscovered a warbler instead of me saying he discovered a warbler. Shit like that, I'm not gonna bother making a correction for, because, like, it doesn't matter, like, in the grand scheme of things, you know? And then, like, we've also had a comment where somebody was, like, complaining about how Shelby pronounced Imo Koivunen, which, like, we're Americans, we're not going to pronounce a Finnish name correctly, you know? So stuff like that I'm not even going to address or bring up with everybody else, because it doesn't matter. But something like this where, like, I got something blatantly factually incorrect because I didn't do my research well enough, totally fine. It was just a lot to wake up to and, to try to handle, especially when, they were assuming the worst of literally everything that came out of our mouths.
Yeah, and it was just a very aggressive comment. And, like, we are very open to, like, criticism, constructive criticism. Like, if we get things wrong, please do correct us.
Yeah. But, and, like, I'm not trying to tone police either. Like, you can technically say whatever the heck you want, and I will listen to it. But I'm going to be a little bit less receptive if you're being mean about it. You know? Yeah. Which I think that applies. So. I mean, that everyone is like that. Like, I'm not, like, literally everyone is like that. But yeah, I think I handled it as best I could. Yeah. And, like, I've been on the other end of it where I used to listen to a very well-known true crime podcast, and they got some facts just blatantly wrong about a topic that I know quite a lot about. Just insanely incorrect, to the point where I was like, where did you even get this information from? And so I messaged the person who was hosting it and said, hey, you got these facts wrong, and they responded with a shrug emoji. So I was trying to do the exact opposite of that. Because, like, I do care if my facts are wrong. But yeah, I did just want to bring it up here just to be like, hey, like, this happened. I tried to fix it as best I could. But also I'm a person, so, like, and my worst fear is being yelled at on the internet. So, like, please just don't be.
We're not kidding about the sensitive part of us.
Yeah,
being insensitive. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, so that happened this morning. And then it was icing all day, and I fell down my porch stairs, so now my back and my neck hurt. Because the universe just felt like not kicking me when I'm down, but pushing me down when I was down. So.
Yeah, I drove home from work and, like, went around the corner onto our street, and, like, my car just kind of, like, slid on the ice into the curb, and I was like, well, I guess that's where I'm parking now.
Yep. So. Shelby's parked down the block because she couldn't get her car any further.
And I didn't want to hit any other cars, and I was like, well, I guess, yep, this is fine.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So.
That's about it.
And Hannah waited 2.5 hours for a pizza.
Yeah, and Hannah waited 2.5 hours for pizza to get to
that was very disappointing.
Yeah.
It wasn't a specialty place, it was Domino's.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm actually going to amend my previous, like, please, like, and I feel like I'm pretty open, like, please tell me if I'm wrong. Like, I want to know if I fuck something up. Anyway, that was all I really had. I had a day today. So if we're done with announcements.
Yes.
Hannah, what are we talking about today?
Okay, go to the thing.
Okay.
Where is it?
It's in her research folder.
It's in my research.
Yeah. Oh, I am in the wrong spot.
Okay.
But there it is. I see.
I don't think I've ever heard of this.
Probably not. You know how I roll.
Maybe. No, I don't think so.
Today we are talking about the 1980 Damascus Titan Missile Explosion, also known as the worst Easter egg hunt ever.
Cool.
I don't know why my brain is refusing to read the word explosion, but it wants to say explosion.
That's
and that is very clearly an O, not a U.
Yeah.
And anyway, I don't know what's wrong with my brain today, but that's fine.
That's okay.
Fine. Oh, sorry. Allie just sent me a Snapchat. I do technically have a third announcement. My sister got a puppy. His name is Greg.
His name is Gregory
He's so
Martin.
Cute.
And he is the cutest thing I have
so
ever
little.
seen. He's
just
so
a
small.
baby.
He's gonna be big.
He's gonna be huge.
He's a little baby teacup.
Yeah, he's only 2 months old.
He's adorable.
He is adorable. When she told my mom just went, which is mom's way of saying, I don't approve of what you're doing, but you're an adult, so I can't really say anything. But then Allie went to my mom's house today. I don't actually know why. She just did, and she brought the puppy with her. And then I called them. I called my mom to tell her that I fell down the stairs. And Allie answered, and she put it on speaker. And I could hear my mom in the background going, I've got the baby! And then I could hear her just, like, talking to the puppy. And I was like, she's not mad about the puppy.
Can we put him on Instagram this week?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I'll ask. Yeah, I don't think Allie will care. But yes, I will put him on
this
Instagram.
Picture where he's in the grass, he's just so tiny.
So tiny.
He's like, please don't leave
small. Me.
My
Yeah,
legs are
he's
so
very
small, I can't keep up.
He is apparently insane, so that's fun. But he's a puppy, so that's to be expected. And her cat is pissed. Yeah, sorry, I meant to say that during the actual announcements, but I forgot. And then she sent me Snapchat, and then I remembered, so sorry. Missile explosions! Yay!
Oh,
okay.
yeah, the 1980 Damascus Titan Missile Explosion. All right,
Yes.
My sources... Okay, hold on, Duolingo's emailing me. How about you go away?
Oh, Hannah, I did buy that book for you, by the way.
Thank you, bless you, I love you.
Yeah.
Hannah will be receiving a short stories in Russian book.
Yes.
I already have two of them, but not that one.
Promise we will get to the topic, but it's like the stories are in Russian, but at the end of the story it has like certain words that, and then like the English translation of them, so it's like it's fun.
That's exciting.
We also we haven't all recorded in like 2 or 3 weeks, and then a lot of shit happened today. So like
yeah. There's been a lot lately.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Okay, my sources.
Yes, sources. Sorry.
Are Wikipedia, the Encyclopedia of Arkansas, which I must say I spelled Arkansas wrong almost every single time I typed it. I just wanted to put SAW, but I know it's Arkansas.
It is Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Do you know why it's Arkansas?
No, because stupid. I don't know.
It's a French root, and Kansas is not.
Oh,
they come from different roots. Arkansas
goodness.
is French. It's got a French root, which is why, and Kansas is not.
Oh.
So blame the French.
I blame the French.
Yes.
When in
That's
doubt,
fair.
blame the French.
Blame the French.
The Encyclopedia of Arkansas was actually incredibly helpful. It was my main source. Militaryhistory.fandom.com, which is so weird because you know that fandom.com where you can like look up cheats for like games and stuff? It has military history too, which I didn't know.
That's weird.
Yeah, so I was like, when I clicked on it, I was like, wait a minute, this is how I find out who to give a gift to on Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
And then valor.militarytimes.com, and then interestingengineering.com.
Ooh.
Alright, slide 3. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, that was like, wait. That's not what I meant. Okay.
First slide of actual content. Wait.
Wait a minute, where am I? I thought this was of the thing that I was talking about, and then I was like, wait, how can that be on there? Okay, so do you guys know what a broken arrow incident is?
No.
You ever heard of that term?
It's a town in Oklahoma. That's all I know.
No. Okay, well, yes and no. It's not like an Oklahoma incident.
No, I know. That's the only reference I have.
Weather. Come sweeping o'er the plain.
God. So broken arrow refers to an accidental event that involves a nuclear weapon, warhead, or components that do not create a risk of nuclear war. So it's like whenever the U.S. accidentally drops a bomb somewhere, which has happened so many times.
So many times.
So there have been...
We've also lost quite a few of them.
Oh, we're about to talk about them. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
So there have been 32 recognized broken arrow incidents between 1950 and 1980. So I'm going to talk to you about just a few really quick that I might cover in the future, because I just think this is so interesting that that we just, like you said, we just lose them. So in 1950...
where did it go?
Basically, yeah.
That's exactly what happened, Shelby. In 1950, in British Columbia, a B-36 crashed, and it was carrying a Mark IV nuclear bomb, but it was jettisoned overboard before the plane crash. I think everyone on the plane survived.
Oh, wow.
But they lost the warhead, and they never found it.
Oh my god.
A diver was like, I think this is it, and they were like, that's not it.
Lord.
And so it's just out somewhere in British Columbia, maybe in the ocean, nobody really knows. There's just a Mark IV nuclear bomb somewhere
just
out.
Chilling.
Yeah, just chilling.
Hanging out. Just having fun.
In 1958, in Mars Bluff, North Carolina, a B-47 nuclear weapon, nuclear weapon lost. It was a nuclear weapon lost. Okay, this is the title of it. The 1958 Mars Bluff B-54 or B-50. Oh my god, B-47. I want to say B-52 so bad, but that's not the plane we're talking about. All right.
Yeah. It is a
B-47 nuclear weapon loss incident, where an Air Force captain mistakenly grabbed the wrong pin and released a Mark VI nuclear bomb over South Carolina, which hit a playhouse that a bunch of kids were playing in.
Oh my god.
Luckily, no one died. 6 people were injured. I don't know if it actually hit the playhouse or like hit very close to the playhouse. But the fissile, I don't know how you say it, nuclear core was stored somewhere else on the plane, and the only thing that blew up was the like actual explosives inside, and in this big old crater is where it hit. It was 70 feet in diameter, and it like blew up someone's house also.
Yeah. And it's like 3 or 4 people deep.
Yeah, it's very
maybe
deep.
5 people deep. Yeah.
It's actually in the forest now, and you can walk on like a trail, and it's marked, and there's like a cutout of the bomb, and it was like actual size of the bomb, and you can like stand next to it and take pictures, but it's like a walking trail in the woods.
Oh dear.
Which is my kind of walking trail.
Right.
All right. And then, of course, we have
it's like that time me and my sister went walking in the woods in Japan and found a World War II bunker. Good times.
I found a meth pipe in a lake in Montana once. It was at Grand Teton National Park.
While out walking.
Well,
do you know what Grand Teton means in French?
No.
Speaking of French, the Grand Teton Mountains.
What does
it's
it
literally
mean?
just the Big Booby Mountains.
What?
I kid you not.
I'm not surprised at all.
The French Canadians were like, we have not seen a woman.
There's that lake in Missouri, it's pomme de terre, that means potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in French it's so prettier. Apple of the earth, I mean, come on.
I know,
right?
But it's just funny, because, like, I don't know who named
Potato
it.
Lake.
Did English people name it because it sounded better? Or did French people name it? I don't know.
Well, if the French named it, that was very
sweet. Is that where we traded
sweet.
potatoes?
Mm-hmm. But if
it is a potato-shaped lake.
Can you can you imagine if like English people named it and they're like, yeah, there's Tater Lake. Not English people. English-speaking people.
Yeah. Yeah, that was very much not English people.
Tater Lake.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I lived in Georgia long enough.
There's a lake in Yellowstone called Crystal Lake, and we walked to it one time, and we had to like walk through a herd of buffalo, which is incredibly stupid and dangerous, but we did it anyway.
I was gonna say, why would you do that?
I don't know, because why not? And when we got there, it was lime green and sulfurous and like bubbling in the middle, and we were like, this is not what a crystal looks like.
Right.
Anyway, back to this. The 1961 Goldsboro B-52, see, there it is, B-52 crash. So, quote, Boeing B-52 Stratofortress carrying 2, 3 to 4 megaton Mark 39 nuclear bombs broke up midair, dropping its nuclear payload in the process. The pilot in command, Walter Scott Tulloch, ordered the crew to eject at 9,000 feet. 5 crewmen successfully ejected or bailed out of the aircraft and landed safely. Another ejected but did not survive the landing, and 2 died in the crash. Information declassified in 2013 showed that one of the bombs came very close to detonating. And again, this was over, like, I think this was over North or South Carolina. It was Carolina,
was over
but
North
that
Carolina. I know about that happening because I think this was the one where we almost, like, fully nuked ourselves.
Yeah, do you see that bomb with the parachute?
Uh-huh.
That's the one that almost got us.
Oh, no.
That was a very quiet.
Dear.
Oh, no. Anyway, so, between, I don't know, it probably still happens now, but between 1950 and 1980, we were very good at coming very close to blowing ourselves up. Alright, so, any questions about Broken Arrow incidents?
No.
And again, there have been 32 recognized ones. So, I don't, yeah, so that means there was probably something else that happened, but they're like, oh, we're not gonna talk about it. Like, nobody has to know.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Yeah. Yes.
But when it lands on your kid's playhouse.
No one saw it, so it didn't happen.
Exactly.
Well, so you probably don't know the answer to this question. Does that mean, like, publicly recognized?
Yes.
Or are there some that we don't know about? Okay.
No, I think that they're publicly recognized because
so
we'll talk about something else
There's
later.
100% some that we don't know about.
Oh yeah, they don't tell us anything.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about Arkansas. So if you go to the next slide, in the very bottom you'll see Little Rock Air Force Base.
I lived there when I was 3 months old.
Oh hey, well had you been born in 1980, you could have exploded.
Great.
Oh darn. You missed out.
You missed
out by 13
on the most
years.
exciting time in Little Rock history. So about an hour north of Little Rock, or I looked at it, it's almost exactly 3 hours south of Springfield, Missouri.
Nice.
There is a little town called Damascus, and this was one of the 9 sites in Arkansas in 1980. I think there's like 18 now, but in 1980 there were 9, maybe there were more than that, it doesn't matter. There were 9 in 1980 sites that housed the Titan II intercontinental ballistic missiles. So the Strategic Air Command Site, I wrote site.
You did.
The Strategic Air Command Site was controlled by Little Rock Air Force Base and the 374th Strategic Missile Squadron. Why do I have 374-7? Oh, because if you look on the map, up at the very top, it's like almost the highest one. It's one of the ones in black.
Oh,
it says
there it is.
374-7. That's where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So really quick, I have a story about ICBMs because I used to live in Montana, and it's riddled with ICBMs out there.
I was going to say, my dad worked with these in North Dakota.
Yep, North Dakota, Montana, probably parts of, what's that other one? Wyoming.
Yeah.
Not the mountain parts, just the flat parts.
Yep.
So, one time we were taking this long cross-country drive, and when I say cross-country, I just mean through Montana. I don't know. We're probably going skiing or something. But we had 2 or 3 cars in kind of a caravan sort of situation, and like all of us kids were kind of spread out between them. It was like, which kid do you want to take, blah, blah, blah. And so I was in the car with my family because I hadn't gotten to ride with my friend Emma yet. Not my sister Emma, my friend Emma. And we had walkie-talkies between all of us.
Oh my gosh, we used to do that when we
right?
would like move. We would
that's what we used to do.
A walkie-talkie in each car.
Yep, so that you could be like, all right, need gas, need pee. Mm-hmm. This was before like we had cool cell phones.
This was like pre-cell phone days.
Yeah, wow, we're so old. But yeah, we had to use walkie-talkies because no cell phones, and also no cell phone service way the hell out there in Montana.
Yeah.
So we were just driving around, and my mom goes, "Oh look, ICBM," and that's how she said it, ICBM. And so I got on the radio, or I think she told me to tell them. She was like, tell them ICBM. And so I was like, my mom sees a BM.
I knew where that was going, and it was still funny.
Yes, that's because I was like, okay, my mom sees a BM, if anyone cares. But I knew she was talking about the missile, but it just, like, it didn't click in my head that it's called an ICBM. It's,
yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, my mom sees a BM.
Can I tell you?
Oh my goodness.
So, not this past Christmas, but the Christmas before that, we were playing this game. It's called Poetry for Neanderthals, and it's very, very fun.
It's so funny.
And so you pull cards that have, like, phrases on them, and you have to try to get the other people to guess the phrase, but you can only use one-syllable words. And if you use a word with more than 2 syllables, you get hit with an inflatable bat. It's the best game ever. So I was playing it with my mom, my aunt, my sister, and my cousin's wife. And my mom... Okay, I know I've told Shelby this. I don't remember if I've told Hannah. So the card was Bad Hair Day. And my mom said Good Head Night. And then when we all started laughing, me and Amanda and Allie all started laughing, and Mom and Nancy were like, what?
Over Christmas, we played this game, and it kind of got inappropriate, and I was sitting in between my mom and Thomas, and my mom said something really inappropriate, and then he said something really inappropriate, and I laughed so hard I stopped breathing for maybe, like, a minute and a half. But my mom, I don't even remember what they both said, but, like, his was intentionally dirty, and hers was not, and it was just, like, so overwhelming. I could not stop laughing.
It was...
Oh my god, I love that. Good Head Night.
God, that game is so much fun. Highly recommend it. Oh man.
Goodness.
I was also gonna say, I also have a story about Arkansas if we want, but it's not a good one. So, well, you already know this story. Back in college, I would have these things where I would need to just not be in Springfield for a while. And so I would just get in my car, tell, like, one person that I was driving around all day, and I would literally drive all day. And so the first time I did it, so Springfield is in southwest Missouri, I drove all the way over, like, east, and then went down, and then came back, and then went back north. And when I was coming back north, and I stayed on, like, state and county, like, mostly county highways, actually, not even state highways. Like, I was on back roads for most of this trip. And so, like, I was driving through, and it was so, like, because you're in the Ozarks, so there's all these mountains and really pretty lakes and all this stuff. And then I turn north, and I go through Harrison. Harrison is that town in Arkansas that has all those insanely racist billboards everywhere.
Oh, is it a sundown town?
Probably.
I drove through one of those.
But it...
Actually, I camped in one.
There were all of these signs that were, like, white is right and, like, all this shit. And then I just looked it up.
Yeah,
there's a bunch of, like, KKK stuff up now, like, more blatantly. Cool. And so I obviously had no warning this was happening. So I was driving through in my little fucking clown car being like, where am I? Like,
I'm a liberal.
And no, that's the thing. I was like, they want me here, and I don't want to be here. Like, demographics-wise. You know, if they just looked at me, they would be like, you're allowed to be here. But I was just like, I don't want to.
But the minute you open your mouth.
I know, the minute I open my mouth, they'd be like, nope, get out. And I would be like, gladly, I'm trying to leave. But, whoo, boy, Arkansas, you, whoo.
It's a fun one. It's a fun one.
So, like, we've also driven through Arkansas for, like, vacations and stuff multiple times. I'm not even joking. On 3 separate occasions, the first thing we've seen when we have gone past the Arkansas state border has been an abandoned, burnt-out building. And these are on different highways.
Yeah.
There's the Ozarks for you.
Oh, God. Like, to the point, and, like, we have a few Arkansas listeners, and I'm so sorry for offending your state, but we make fun of Florida all the time, too, and our own states. It's fine. But I just remember one time Allie and I were going down to Texas, I think, which is trash for a completely different reason. Well, probably similar. And we were like an hour into the state, and so I was driving. She looks at me and goes, "Why is Arkansas trash?"
She's not wrong.
No, I'm sorry, but she's really not. Like, there's no reason I should be seeing 3 separate abandoned buildings off of major interstates, like, the second I get into the state. And there shouldn't be, like, I don't think there should be KKK and disgusting racist billboards.
Arkansas, you know what you did.
Yeah, you know.
Anyway,
sorry.
Really quick, no, you're good. I should have put this in my announcements. Something I did do yesterday, I had a snow day yesterday. Woo, it was great. I slept almost the entire day. But when I wasn't sleeping, I was listening to a podcast by Cool Zone Media called The Assault on America, and it's an 8-part documentary series that goes into, like, incredible detail on the January 6th attack.
Ooh.
And I highly recommend it. I'll send it to you guys. Okay. It's called The Assault on America, and it's hosted by Robert Evans, who is the host of Behind the Bastards. It's so good. Anyway.
I like that guy.
Yeah, he's
I just followed it on Spotify, so I'll listen to it soon. Yeah, that also, the 1 year anniversary of that was also this week. That's a completely separate discussion.
Happy anniversary, the death of democracy.
Apparently, someone who was part of that, because, you know, we didn't actually, like, punish anyone who was part of that.
Not
really. Yeah, apparently they were, like, driving drunk and ended up, like, killing someone as well.
Oh, God.
So,
like, this week?
I will find the information and send it to you. Let me see.
Also, one of the voice actors on Bob's Burgers was confirmed to have been there, and he has since been removed from the show.
It's Jimmy Pesto.
It's Jimmy fucking Pesto. Of course it is.
Of course it was Jimmy Pesto.
Of course it was Jimmy Pesto. Yeah. And then, like, he isn't in any of the new episodes for this season, but we still don't know, like, how they're gonna... Because they can't just cut him out. Like, he lives across the street. Like, So we don't know what they're gonna do. They can pick
someone who has that weird New Jersey accent.
Well, that's the thing. So I'm on the Bob's Burgers subreddit, and a bunch of people were like, just have Megan Mullally voices Gail. They were like, just have her do it, and then have everybody pretend nothing is different.
Maybe their mom can come back.
Well, that's a lot of people are like, maybe the mom can come in and take over, because we've never actually seen the mom. I didn't even see this. Oh, that sucks.
Hannah, I put it in our
Facebook
group chat.
Yeah.
The thing about person in the riot.
Yeah.
Franklin County, Missouri?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me ill.
They were going the wrong way on 44, which, like, 44 is terrible, but yeah.
44 sucks to begin with, let alone having some drunk moron.
It sucks, but it's also very clear which side of the highway you're supposed to be on.
Yeah, it's a 4-lane highway.
Yeah.
It's not
confusing.
Not
no.
It's also a straight line. Like, it's
that part of it, yes.
There is one curve on the entire fucking road.
Whenever you get closer to Springfield, it gets a little curvier. But in St. Louis, yes, it's a straight line.
2 curves.
Yeah, in St. Louis, it's still pretty flat, so it's basically a straight line over some hills.
It is.
Oh, man. Okay, let's get back to the actual topic.
To this? Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, look, my next line was, and we're back.
You knew!
I knew. I felt it in my heart. Okay, so this is the inside of an ICBM missile silo. So on Thursday, September 18th... Okay, we're back. We good? We're back.
Yes, we're good.
On Thursday, September 18th, 1980, around 6:30 p.m., 2 airmen from a Propellant Transfer System Team, or a PTS team, were checking the pressure of the oxidizer tank in the missile. So Airman David P. Powell brought with him a ratchet wrench instead of the newly mandated by Air Force regulations, torque wrench. Wow, that was a terrible sentence. He brought a ratchet with him. He was supposed to have a torque wrench because the Air Force was just like, we're making it so that we're only using torque wrenches now. Okay, guys? Okay. So his ratchet was 3 feet long and weighed about 25 pounds, which I guess that's...
I mean, if you're working on a missile, I guess you would need a wrench that size.
I guess. I'm used to, like, IKEA furniture where everything is put together with the tiniest Allen wrench you could ever find.
Yeah. I have like 8 of those now.
An Allen wrench for pixies. It's so tiny. But anyway. So Powell was already underground in the missile silo, and he already had all of his protective gear on. So he decided not to turn around and get the correct wrench. And so when he was checking the pressure, the 8-pound socket for the ratchet fell off. The 8-pound socket for the oxidizer tank fell off the ratchet and fell about 80 feet below. It bounced off a thrust mount and then pierced the missile's skin just above the first stage fuel tank. So,
it's not getting worse.
Yes, it was like, have you ever seen Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
You know when Pippin knocks that bucket over in the Mines of Moria and it just gets louder and louder and louder, and then all those goblins come out.
Anxiety rising.
And Gandalf is like, I should have snapped your neck years ago.
Right?
Anyway, that's what's happening.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So this call caused the Aerozine 50 fuel to start leaking. Quote, Aerozine 50 is a hypergolic, I don't know, with the Titan II's oxidizer dinitrogen tetraoxide, which is to say that they spontaneously ignite upon contact with each other. The nitrogen tetraoxide is kept in a second tank in the rocket's first stage, directly above the fuel tank and below the second stage, and its 9 megaton W-53 nuclear warhead. Oh my god. So,
okay.
There's a bomb under the bomb.
My brain cannot... Can you describe the location of these two different tanks? Because my brain could not comprehend what you were saying. Are they touching each other?
One is above the other.
Things? Okay, that's all I needed. Thank you.
And then on top of both of them is the warhead.
Okay.
So they mix together when the rocket takes off, because that's how it goes.
And things go boom. Yes.
And things go boom.
Yeah.
They don't explode. They just propel the rocket.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I needed. Thank you.
Yep.
Just visually, my brain was not willing to comprehend what you said.
It's kind of like my brain thinking that explosion wasn't a word.
Yeah.
Explosion. Okay, so anyway, it's not going great for David P. Powell and friends. Next slide. Here is an example of a Titan II missile complex.
This is what I needed. Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
so
that makes more sense now.
I don't know if you can... I don't know what those words say. I really can't zoom in on them. But maybe it will tell you what...
They're visible on my screen, but I'm on my second monitor, which is kind of big, so...
Yeah.
I can see them.
I have it... I can't see because of my notes.
Yeah.
So, the missile crew and the propellant transfer system crew were eventually evacuated from the launch center because, they just made a bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, they made a bigger bomb than they...
Yeah. They made a super bomb.
They made an unstable bomb.
Yeah.
They had a contained bomb. Now they have an unstable bomb. Mm-hmm. And so by 9 p.m., a joint military and civilian team, so I guess firefighters and stuff, arrived to handle the situation. So I have another quick Air Force story. The chemical disaster spill team, whatever, I met a whole bunch of those boys once. And they are fucking crazy. They're
so crazy.
So crazy. They were jogging on base, and we were at a friend's house, and it was her retirement party. And they just jogged up to us, and they were like, "Oh, congratulations, Colonel, on retirement, blah blah blah." And then we invited them to stay, and these boys drank some hard ass Montanan ranchers under the table. It was insane. And then, because I left before they did, because they were still drinking at midnight, I went home. I assumed they jogged home, because they didn't drive there. They were just
How else were they going to get home?
I know. They were, God, they were crazy. And
they were like, oh, crap, we got to finish our PT.
Exactly.
Right.
Shelby, that is exactly what it was. They were like, we're on PT. Everyone pause your Fitbit. That's what it
right.
was. That's what it was.
They're always like that, too. They're always just like,
and then they tell you the craziest fucking stories.
Let's have a party and let's go. Okay, bye.
What is PT in this context?
Physical training.
Physical. Yeah, it's P. It's running. It's running everywhere.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, running and push-ups.
Running and push-ups,
basically.
Yep. Sometimes some pull-ups, sit-ups if you're being tested.
Yeah.
But...
Okay.
They're so crazy, and they'll tell you the crazy stories. They'll be like, yeah, it was under the stage where the president was supposed to be, and we found this mysterious box, and then we had to put on our hazmat suit and crawl in there, and there was only 8 inches of space, so I compressed my ribs so I could get in there, and I took my gas mask off because I thought, I figured I'll die anyway because I won't be able to get out, and stuff like that, and you're just like, what? What the fuck? They're crazy.
Right.
They're such crazy
Literally
people.
Every single time.
Because they have no fear. They don't fear death.
They kind of have to have no fear to do that job.
Yeah, so anyway.
Yeah.
So I assume those guys showed up. I'm not entirely sure, but I bet they did. I just wanted to talk about them.
Probably, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's fine.
All right. So Lieutenant General Lloyd R. Leavitt Levitt. I don't know. Is it Leavitt or Levitt?
I think it's Levitt.
I've heard
when
of
it's spelled like that. I think it's Levitt. I don't know.
Okay, Junior. Who was... Sorry, he's a junior. Who was the vice commander
That's his
of the...
name now, Junior.
Well, it says Junior. I just never got to that part.
I know.
I got caught up on his last name. So Lieutenant General Lloyd R. Levitt Jr. was the vice commander of the Strategic Air Command, and he led the effort to save the silo. So their first concern was that there was going to be a collapse of the fuel tank now that it was open and, like, shit was pouring out of it.
Uh-huh.
That's...
Oh, sorry, I'm vomiting.
As always.
Every time.
What did I have before I came here?
Pizza.
Every time.
And
Every
probably 64 ounces of coffee.
You know, I didn't finish my second 32 ounce. I couldn't. I had really bad heartburn.
I don't want to say good, but I'm glad you didn't drink that much coffee.
I was tired.
I know.
I overestimated how much I could handle.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they were afraid that the collapse of the first fuel tank would result in the rest of the 8-story missile collapsing and rupturing, which would allow the oxidizer to contact the fuel in the silo, which would just, like, big explosion time.
Yeah.
I don't really know.
Yes.
It just all sounded bad.
It's science and things might blow up, therefore it's bad. Like, I don't need any further explanation than that.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. So you can go to the next slide. So at about 10 p.m., the military police began evacuating nearby civilian residents. Because remember, this isn't on the Air Force Base. There's, like, you don't put all of your ICBMs in one place. You spread them out strategically because otherwise, because this was the Cold War, if Russia blows you up and all your ICBMs are gone.
You don't want this to be a, like, one blows up, so all of them blow up.
Right.
Yeah.
You spread them out.
And you also need multiple places to pull them from, just in
Yes,
case.
also that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you keep them underground because, duh.
Yeah. That's easier.
So they began evacuating the town of Damascus. When I first read this, I thought that the missile was called the Damascus Missile, but it's just the town is called Damascus, which is kind of, I don't know, weird to me, at least. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know how that works normally, so.
I don't know either. So the response team continued to monitor the status of the missile and fuel leak. So Airman Rex Huckle and Airmen, like plural. Sorry,
Yes.
I had to say that for myself. Rex Huckle and Greg Devlin were tasked with breaking into the now abandoned silo to check the status of the fuel. So they cut through a security gate, and this picture on top, I think this is what they broke into. Maybe not. Now that I'm reading this out loud, that can't be right. Anyway, they cut down a security gate.
I'm looking at the diagram from the last slide.
I think they broke into one of those.
Yeah. Like one of
like the bunkers / control centers. Not the like up and down missile holdy part.
Not like the missile part, the control center part.
Yes.
Okay.
So anyway, they broke down a security gate and then broke through a steel portal that had an electromagnetic lock, using only a crowbar and some other tools, which really kind of freaked me out.
Because that's terrible.
Yeah, because like I said, it was the Cold War, and had
the fact that they were able to break into that that's a little concerning.
However, they were not.
I mean, I know they were highly motivated to do so, but also
I have a question.
Wait, really quick.
Yes.
They did not break in the inner blast door.
Okay, so there was some kind of security still standing.
Yes.
I don't know if you know this. So the silo was abandoned. Did they cut the power to it, or was it still?
Oh, I have no idea.
Because if the power was out, that would explain why they could break through a fucking electromagnetic lock. Those aren't.
It probably was because any kind of spark, I'm sure, would have set some of this fuel off.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That being said, I feel like there should still be a stronger lock in place for when the power is out.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't get through the blast door.
Yeah, they couldn't get through the blast door.
But, like, one Soviet spy...
Yeah, and they're fucked.
And a crowbar.
Yeah, apparently all you need is a crowbar.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So then Senior Airman David Lewiston and Sergeant Jeff K. Kennedy entered the launch complex early the next morning. So they were there to get readings from the airborne fuel concentrations, and they found, and I couldn't find a number for this, but it just said that the readings were at a maximum, so that was, like, bad. But again, I don't know what that means.
Nice and vague.
I looked everywhere. There was, and also I tried to, never mind, we'll talk about it in a minute, but I tried to find information on something else, but no one would tell me anything.
Yeah.
So at about 3 a.m., Lewiston and Kennedy returned to the surface. So they were down in one of those little bunker things, and were awaiting further instructions. They just started to sit down on the edge of the concrete access portal, which if you look at the slide with the diagram, it's that big concrete pad. They had just sat down on that, and the missile exploded.
Oh no!
Slide 8.
Oh my god!
So, so that picture on slide 7, the explosion blew the 740-ton launch duct closure door, 200 feet in the air and about 600 feet northeast of the complex. So that giant-ass heavy door and all the concrete was gone.
Oh my god.
The W-53 nuclear warhead was also launched into the air, but because of its safety features, it did not explode or lose any of its radioactive materials.
Cool, that's good.
Well,
Yes.
at least there's that.
Okay, at least there's that.
Livingston was eventually found and rescued from the rubble after some time, but unfortunately he died of his injuries and chemical pneumonia later that day. So all of that, I know, so all of that crummy stuff they were breathing in kind of wrecked his lungs.
Yeah.
Kennedy was blown about 150 feet from the silo and broke his legs. Additionally, he struggled with respiratory issues from inhaling the oxidizer, but he did survive.
How?
I don't know.
Just generally.
Oh
He got blown 150 feet into the air. Like,
He
holy
probably
shit.
not in the
passed
air,
out
like,
and was like
from
a
the
little
silo.
like ragdoll,
Yeah.
which is probably what like saved him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even not in the air, you're still being like.
You're still moving very fast for a very far distance. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, I fell down the stairs today and my back is killing me. Like, how did, like... Ugh.
So 21 other people in the immediate vicinity were also injured as a result of the blast, but Livingston was the only one who died.
Okay.
So that's a big explosion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
all right.
Lord.
Next slide. Once the injured were collected and transferred to the hospital, the search was on for the nuclear warhead. Because remember, that also blew out of the thing.
Yeah.
So I found a couple of different... Oh, anyway, thus commences the world's worst Easter egg hunt. That's why I wrote that. I thought it was clever. But I couldn't... I found a couple of different... I found a couple of different answers to this question because I wanted to know how far it went. One... and how long it took them to find it. So, according to two of my sources, it said by daybreak they had located the warhead, but another one said, quote, "It was, however, lost for about a day until it was discovered nearly 200 meters away from the missile silo. Fortunately for the workers near the site and thousands of others surrounding the immediate area, the safety features encasing the nuclear warhead prevented a cataclysmic fissile reaction from happening and prevented a leak of any radioactive material." But everything else said that it was only 100 feet from the silo and that they found it in like the early morning.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure, but anyway, I think it was more like a day because they were out looking for it forever and then they ended up finding it super duper close.
Yeah.
Anyway, sources, my dad. Because he told me that earlier. All right, so let's play What If. So go to slide 10.
Yay, my favorite game.
Had this exploded, according to Nuke Map, it would have been a 9.5 megaton bomb. There would have been more than 3,000 fatalities immediately.
God. Yeah.
And then 9,000 people would have been injured, and radioactive fallout would reach as far as Atlanta. So if you can read those little tiny words, Yeah, so this is a map. Look at it you can see St. Louis in this map. Like, that's how bad it would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that map kind of tells you...
I mean, you think about, like, how far Chernobyl went.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that wasn't even a bomb.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't designed to be a bomb, though.
No.
Yeah.
But this was designed to be a bomb. A 9.5
Yeah.
megaton bomb, actually. So...
Yeah.
So this is what it would have looked like. Like, you can see kind of, it tells you the radiation radius and the air blast radius and all of that stuff. So yeah, everyone within a 26...
I was gonna say, when my dad was working on the ones up in North Dakota, like, the closest town to, like, the military base was, like, 16 miles away. And then it was the military base, and then the, like, missile field was, like, they had to, like, drive 3 hours or something to, like, get to the missile field. Like, it's way out there.
There was a story a while ago. I'm gonna
they used to have to do, like, a week on duty, a week off, or something like that, because they had to, like, drive so far to get to it.
Yeah,
But...
they're honestly so remote. The ones that are up in the Northwest.
And, like, they kind of have to be, because if something like this were to happen, like, the radius is so far, like, it's still gonna affect so much stuff, but they try and at least, like, put them pretty far out there, at least nowadays, but...
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm Googling. You said it was how many megatons?
9.5.
9.5. I'm trying to figure out how big the ones that we dropped on Japan.
Also, sorry if the information I say about, like, when my dad worked on it is really vague. It was before I was born, so I don't actually know it. It's all, like, what I've heard.
Yeah.
So.
No, you're good. I think the ones...
They say kilotons for those.
Yeah. Which is a much, much, much smaller, like, weight scale than a megaton. Okay.
How big is one megaton? 1 megaton hydrogen bomb hypothetically detonated on the Earth's surface has about 80 times the blast power of that of the 1945 explosion. At the center lies a crater 200 feet deep and 1,000 feet in diameter. That is 1 megaton. This was
9.
9.5.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it in, like, context.
Yeah,
and that's, like, the only context I have is the ones we dropped on Japan.
What's 80 times 9.5?
Hang on. 80
too much?
Times 9.5. 760.
That many
Jesus
times
Christ.
more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb.
Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Also, thank you for saying that correctly. I appreciate that.
Hiroshima.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's just how you say it.
A lot of Americans
but
say Hiroshima.
Which bothers me, because that's not how Japanese words... I know that it's just because they're not Japanese, but, you know. Anyway, I appreciate that you said it correctly, that's all.
So that's the what if game. Moving on.
That's a fun game.
I hate it. I play Fallout a lot, like Fallout 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just so depressing to think about. That could happen. This could be our future. We could all be living in fucking... I don't know, a nuclear wasteland. Anyway, so cleanup and aftermath. So in October, cleanup operations began. Nearly 400 acres of land surrounding the site had to be cleaned of tons of debris because that whole concrete pad blew up, and then, like, the whole bomb itself.
Yeah.
100,000 gallons of contaminated water needed to be pumped from the silo also. So the total cost estimated to fix the site was $225,322,670, whereas just a demolition was only $20 million. Yeah, it's so many money.
Jesus.
So many money.
But the demolition was only $20 million, so the Air Force was like, fuck it, and then they just buried it in gravel and concrete because they were like, that's way easier.
What else are you gonna do with it? Like,
Yeah, exactly. So Congress held an inquiry into the integrity of the Titan II missile program, because maybe it wasn't a good idea. I don't know.
Maybe.
But they found that the majority of the program was reliable, so just safety-wise, I think, is what they meant. But concluded that communications between local officials and the Air Force needed to be improved. So this was in case of accidents, and it included a modification to the Air Force's previous policy of, and I wrote, quit asking questions, which is actually, quote, neither confirming or denying the presence and condition of nuclear weapons at an accident site. So basically, if it was a problem, like a broken arrow type problem, they had to tell the public, and they had to tell local officials.
What a concept.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
It's like Chernobyl.
Crazy.
But
Yeah, like Chernobyl.
look, maybe we're not that different from the Soviets. We both hide things from our civilians.
I think, didn't the Challenger explosion and Chernobyl happen in the same fucking year? Were they both in 86?
Chernobyl was 86. I don't know when the
they
Challenger was.
I think it was also 86. And those were both blatant, like, people in charge. It was 1986. People in charge knew that there was a problem that could lead to really bad shit happening, and they just ignored it and hoped that it wouldn't happen.
Did you know that Big Bird was supposed to be on the Challenger?
I did know that. They couldn't
And
get
John
the suit
Denver?
to fit. Yeah, they couldn't get the Big Bird suit to fit. That's the only reason why he wasn't on it.
Wow.
That's kind of good, though, because the American childhood trauma that would have occurred from that would have been...
Yeah. There were already, like, a bunch of kids. So many kids were watching because there was a teacher on board.
Yeah, but
So
little
a bunch-
kids, and you watch Big Bird blow up.
Oh, no, I know. It would have been
like,
bad.
That
It
would
was
be
bad either way, but yeah,
Yes.
that would have been horrible.
like one of their childhood icons blowing up.
Yes.
I think not saying that like the actual human loss wasn't significant, but like for children to conceptualize it, I think that seeing something that they know and love, like
yeah,
and
that would have been
is tangible to them, would be so much worse.
Yes.
Anyway, so last slide. In the end, quote, 6 Air Force servicemen, Livingston posthumously, Kennedy, Huckle, Devlin, Don Green, and Jimmy Roberts were awarded the Airman's Medal for Heroism, which is awarded for a heroic act, usually at the voluntary risk of his or her life, but not during combat, in May of 1981 for their actions, though Kennedy had earlier... Oh yeah, so Kennedy kind of got in trouble for this, because apparently he wasn't supposed to go into the silo the first time when he was checking those numbers. So he did get a reprimand, but then I think it was later kind of expunged from his record.
Yeah.
And the Titan II maintenance structure at Little Rock Air Force Base was later designated the Livingston Building in honor of Livingston, who was the airman who died. Additionally, Livingston was posthumously promoted to Staff Sergeant. Quote, Airman David Livingston, U.S. Air Force, was awarded the Airman's Medal for Heroism involving voluntary risk of life near Damascus, Arkansas on 19 September 1980. Following an accident at a Titan II strategic missile complex at Damascus, Arkansas, which caused a highly volatile and toxic fuel leak in the missile's Stage 1 fuel tank. His exemplary courage and heroism reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. And that was from that valor.com thing. Valor.militarytimes.com. So that's all I have on the 1980 Damascus Titan Missile Explosion. But these broken arrow incidents are so scary because God, we're bad at having nuclear weapons. We should just not have them.
Of all the shit we have, you would think that the nukes would be the things that we try the hardest to keep track of.
But the things that keep causing these accidents are such little human errors. Like the one that dropped that like 4 or 5 megaton bomb that almost blew up in North Carolina. That was because there were 2 pins. One was to lock the thing in place and the other one was to drop the thing. And the pilot just picked the wrong one.
Oh dear.
And like this one, the end fell off of a torque wrench and fell down the pit and ripped a hole in it.
Right, like, you can't even really say that's, like, his fault or anything. Like, it fell off.
It fell off.
He wasn't to use the wrong wrench. I will say. He did actively choose to use the wrong wrench.
I mean, yes, but like it's not like he knew the wrench was gonna break.
No.
So
because before
like,
that, he
they're
had been
just,
using
like,
that wrench.
That's true.
Because it
yeah,
hadn't
like
been
that was
changed.
a new
That's true. Yes.
thing. So like that's probably what he was used to.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just maybe don't have nuclear weapons.
Yeah, maybe
in the hands of humans.
Maybe we just don't have those anymore. That would be
Yeah,
swell.
let's not do that.
Yeah, that would be nice. Military.
Looking at you, military.
Of our country and many, many others.
Yeah. Just looking at humans.
Can we just, like... If you just didn't give a shit what your neighbor was doing, things would be so much easier. Like,
Really would.
stop caring so much about what other people are doing. I mean, like, who cares what religion they are? Who cares who they, like, love? Who cares, like, what their politics are? It doesn't fucking matter. We're just...
Unless they're committing human rights atrocities. I will make an
Yeah,
exception
I was gonna say,
for
if they're
that.
murdering children, you're allowed to stop that, whatever, but, like...
Or, like, in China, they're carrying out a huge genocide against Muslim communities.
Yeah, I'm
within
talking about,
China,
like,
so,
individual people, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that metaphor doesn't quite translate that
All right,
well
let me start over. Everyone besides the Chinese military complex who is, yes, putting Muslims in
know what they've
concentration
done.
camps. You know what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone just knock it off. Just be
Yeah.
cool. Just be cool.
Yeah.
Don't be a
Like,
dick.
that is the only time I will justify the U.S. barging in when we're not welcome is when shit like that is happening. Any other time, like, yeah, if a country in South America wants to be socialist, how about we let them be socialist? Capitalism has not really been working for them so far because
We don't
instituted
need
it.
to have another coup. Stay out of it,
We really
CIA.
don't.
As someone who is currently a slave to capitalism, fuck it.
Ugh. The CIA is hiring law librarians right now, and all I can remember is during one of my classes last semester, our career services lady came in. She told us in no uncertain terms to never apply for the CIA.
Oh my god.
Because even for librarians, they treat you like you're like an agent and you have to go through like all these insane tests and stuff. And she was like, it's not worth it. Just don't do it.
What's that comedian's name?
Nope. There's a lot of those.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I'm
I need
gonna
more
find
I'm gonna need
context
some more
here.
information.
Everyone shut your mouths.
Okay.
I'll find it myself.
Okay.
Wanda Sykes. You know the comedian Wanda Sykes?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
She was in the NSA
I did not know that.
Yeah,
before she was a comedian.
Huh.
I did know
I
that.
did not know that.
Oddly
Yeah,
enough.
she was an NSA agent. Anyway, fun fact. That's all I
I have
have.
toured their building. Fun fact.
I touched Air Force 2 once.
Nice.
That's not related. But, okay.
Okay, are we done?
Long live the Emperor. Bye.
Bye.
Where's the stop button? Oh, I'm still recording. I'm still recording. Ah! Thanks for listening to The Triad. Our music is by Scott Buckley. Our audio is recorded by our sound engineers, Craig Bott and Audrey Credo.
If you like the show, please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, YouTube, and Tumblr as The Triad Podcast.
We're also on Patreon as The Triad. Currently, all Patreon funds will go towards the cost of hosting the show. Each tier has its own rewards, but every patron receives our undying gratitude. Do you have comments, questions, or stories? Email us at thetriadpod@gmail.com. And thank you again for listening to The Triad, where we're spooky but sensitive.